Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Nanny Joanne, and today it's a little bittersweet day for me because today was the day where I told my lovely family that I've been with for 2 years that I will not be going back to work after baby is born. And I'll share what happened and how it all went. All right, so I told them back in February that I was pregnant, and I honestly didn't know if I was going to be going back to work. But she did tell me that if I decided to go back to work, she would give me 4 months maternity leave. Basically, my baby's born in August, September, October, November. I'd be going back by like December or end of November, and my baby would have been 4 months. So the dilemma was, who is going to watch my baby if I am at work in the afternoons? My parents live with me, and it is a blessing because I have their help, and I just love living with family, especially when you need help in times like this. And it's awesome because you have somebody who's experienced, who who can help you. So I was like, well, maybe my mom can switch her schedule and work in the mornings and then relieve me by like 2, so I can go to work and work from 3 to 6 or 2 to 7, something like that. The hours that I needed her to work would have been something from like 6 a.m. to like 2 p.m. That way she relieves me. But even then, I would still need morning hours because my employer would need me to be at work at like 7 till about 8:30, so I can help get the kids ready for school, drop them off, and come home. So I'd be missing like 2 hours of coverage. And unfortunately, my mom's job wasn't that accommodating because they open at 10 in the morning, and they're not going to have her there at 6 a.m. just so she can get off at 2. So if they open at 10, they'd probably have her there by like 9 or 8 at the earliest, and she wouldn't be getting out till like 4 o'clock. So that wouldn't work. Either way, I was going back and forth trying to see if I could figure this out, because it's not like I need to go back to work. My husband said that I could be a stay-at-home mom and nothing would change. But I kind of liked the idea of having like a couple of hours, not to myself, but just kind of to myself. I don't know. But the more and more I thought about it, I was like, no, I don't really want to leave my 4-month-old. Or the more and more I spoke to friends who have children, they're like, girl, you are not going to want to leave your 4-month-old baby to go work for other kids. And at first, my husband's like, we had a baby. You've seen how it is working with families who have children and the moms and dads are working and you're the one basically raising the kid. Didn't we discuss that? That's not how you wanted to do it your time around. So what are we really arguing about here? And he's right. Like, they're only babies for this short amount of time. They're only toddlers for a short amount of time. Like, there'll be times where I won't be needed, where I potentially can get a part-time job or something. But right now, it's not necessary. So I made that realization, and today I spoke to her, and we were talking about my schedule in the summer and how it would change. So I took advantage of that, and I told her, hey, while we're on the topic of schedules for the summer, I've made my decision as far as whether or not I'm going to come back to work, and unfortunately, I'm not going to come back to work after I've had the baby. I just saw that her face like fell, because I honestly believe that she thought I was gonna come back, and I didn't lead her on whatsoever. But I don't know, I guess she had her hopes up that I would come back, and I told her I'm not. I basically told her there was too many pieces that I had to move around, and even though I was trying to be accommodating and flexible, it just wasn't working out in my favor to where I could make it work. So I don't have the morning care that I thought I might have had. It's just not gonna work. I'm sorry. I was like, but I did speak to a friend of mine who is a nanny, who your children are familiar with. She's met her before. She's seen her around. She's worked with her friends' kids also as a temp nanny while their nanny was on maternity leave. So she has a reference there. And I told her, listen, I spoke to her, and she said that she'd be willing to fill in for me permanently if you guys are open to that. That way you don't have to, find an agency, find a nanny, go on interview, search people. This is somebody who your kids are familiar with. She's familiar with you guys, with the home, with the neighborhood. You guys have references that you guys can use because you guys know them personally. So if you're up to it, she's up to it. Just, have a conversation with her, let her know what your needs and interests are, and, see what you guys can come up with. And she's like, oh, she said that she would. I'm like, yeah, she said that she would, would take my position if I wasn't going to come back. And she's like, oh, wow, well, that's great. Yeah, we would love to, talk to her if that's okay with you. I'm like, no, for sure. Like, it's definitely okay with me. I'm just trying to help you guys so you guys are not left in limbo and you guys have somebody here that you guys kind of know and are familiar with, as opposed to having a complete stranger come into your home all over again. So that was that. And I'm honestly really glad that I found someone that she was somewhat comfortable with to take that role from me. And I wouldn't recommend her somebody that I didn't feel was going to be a good match for them. It's been so great to me, and I don't want to put anybody in a position where it's yeah, she didn't really work out, Joanne. We had to, find somebody. But I think that she's going to be a great fit, and I think that they will eventually end up hiring her because it's honestly the easiest thing for them, and it just makes sense. So that was my little bit about how I told my employer I was not going to come back after maternity leave. Was a bitter moment, and I haven't told the kids yet, so that'll be another video. It's going to be really, really sad, I think, because they think I'm going to come back, and they always tell me to come back. Yeah, that's a story for another day. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys all next time from yours truly, Nanny Joanne. Bye.